Hi, welcome to Garden Guns. This is not my normal format of video. For a start, standing up, not sitting down, as I usually do, and the subject matter for today's video is not something I would normally deal with, but we'll come on to that later. First of all, if you don't particularly like the way that I'm shooting this, I apologise. It's probably far more akin to a demolition ranch video, if any of you are aware of Matt Carricker's videos. So if you're about 13 or 14 years old mentally, sorry, pants are falling down, I've lost a bit of weight. If you're 13 or 14 mentally, like I am, then you probably watch his stuff. But anyway, so what am I talking about today? Well, first off, got two new pistols. Yep. The sight on the pistol is actually mine. It's a little Bushnell red dot. I've added that just for fun while I'm playing around with it. These are the HDP, oh, pardon me, 50, which is this bad boy, and the HDR 50. Whoop, let's get that right. Whoop, there we go. HDP stands for Home Defense Pistol, and 50 refers to the caliber of, in this case, paintball it puts out. And HDR is Home Defense Revolver 50, once again 50 cal, and this one shoots both paintballs and it shoots little rubber balls as well, which they do sting. They sting quite a lot when they hit you. So what we're going to do today is put them over the chronograph with paintballs and with the rubber balls. We're going to see what sort of energy they produce, and then we're going to shoot some stuff, starting off with a cardboard box. And I'll be honest, if the rubber balls don't go through the cardboard box, this is going to be a pretty damn short video. Okay, so let's talk about the difference between the two pistols first. So the HDP 50, the pistol 50, this, as far as I understand, is roughly around about 11.5 joules, and it's a CO2 powered pistol. The HDR 50 is 7.5 joules, so close to our 6 foot-pounds in the UK. And this is this can shoot both the 50 cal paintballs and the 50 cal rubber balls. Why can't you shoot the 50 cal rubber balls through this? Strictly speaking, this is capable of shooting the rubber balls, but as far as I have read, and as far as Phil and Tracey at Leicestershire Airguns, who I got these off again, who said, do you want to go and have a bit of fun in the garden? I was like, hell yeah. Phil and Tracey have done a fair amount of research on this, and what they understand is if you are shooting frangible, i.e. breakable ammunition, a paintball in the UK, because we're not allowed to shoot, say, the pepper balls, which in other parts of the world you can shoot out of these. So if you're shooting frangible ammo, which in the UK means a paintball, then the power limit isn't necessarily an issue. You then come into basically issues with how you use the pistol. If you're using it for fun and recreation, then there's no problem. If you're using it to hurt somebody, then yes, in the UK that's a massive issue. The 7.5 joule 6 foot-pound pistol, because this is within the UK pistol restrictions, you can shoot the rubber balls out of it without any problems. The rubber balls, it is debatable, I think, in the eyes of the law, because the rubber balls, although they might lose the odd bit of rubber here and there, you can't really argue that a rubber ball is frangible, or at least I certainly wouldn't want to stand up in a court of law and try and make that case. So my advice, and the advice from Leicestershire Airguns, is that if you order the 11.5 foot-pound paintball marker, don't put rubber balls through it, because if you get caught with that, you could find yourself in hot water, or at least you'll be the first person to maybe end up in front of a judge trying to explain why their paintball marker is not necessarily a paintball marker, and actually starts to wander into the Section 5 firearms restrictions, which is a fairly hefty stint and in jail and a rather large fine. So if you're going to go for the powerful one, stick with the paintballs. I'm not going to be testing this with the rubber balls, although I would love to see what a rubber ball will do to a box and all the other little bits and bobs that I'm thinking of shooting. I'm certainly not prepared to try my luck with the law on that one. So for today, we're going to be shooting rubber balls out of this one, and we're going to be shooting paintballs out of this one, and we're going to see basically how they perform over the chronograph. We're going to see, I mean, I've always wondered, if you shoot a tin can with a fairly decent paintball marker, you know, what does it do? Because I've never done it. Even when I used to paintball as a young man, I never used to do it. Anyway, so I'm going to stop the video right here. I'm going to get the chronograph set up, and we are going to put these over the chronograph. Back with you. So then, let's talk, he says, let's get away from this tree first off. So let's talk about gassing up. How do we get the gas into the pistol or the revolver? The revolver and the pistol both come with a box. In the box you get an instruction manual and you get an Allen key. You use said Allen key to undo the gas retaining bolt on the bottom of the pistol, and unlike most CO2 pistols, you don't load the CO2 powlet nose first, you load it tail first. Whoop, he says, dropping that. Right, and then screw it up, and then I'm going to nip it up with the Allen key till it's finger tight. Not overly tight, just tight enough, so that, you know, basically with a decent amount of pressure, let's try and re-qualify that, so that effectively you've actually got to apply quite a bit of pressure to get it to go any further. So nip it up, I think, is the correct thing. Right, now to load the pistol, you get your, in this case, the rubber BB, and all you do is just push it into the revolving chamber, and then you load it with the metal indexing, there we go, metal indexing center facing you, and load it like that. Okay, so now that is loaded, when you want to use it, and this is the cunning thing, these pistols in other countries are very much designed for sort of home defense, non-lethal home defense, which is why you have an 11 joule version for shooting the plastic, so the rubber BBs, and as I say, abroad they also have pepper balls. So the idea being is that these would be left, say, you know, in your office or your, you know, somewhere in your house, with the CO2 capsule in, and when you come to want to use it, you basically take your loaded device, and the first thing you have to do is smack the bottom of the CO2 retaining bolt, and when that happens, a little red pin, well, a little silver pin with a red marker comes out of the back. Let me show you this. Ta-da! I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if you can see the red marker, but anyway, comes out of the back, and bingo, this thing is now ready to fire. So we are going to chronograph this. Let me get that on point. Let's hope I don't shoot. We're also going to put goggles on for this being a rubber ball. This is going to be the highest chance I think I've possibly had of actually shooting myself while doing one of these videos, which has got to be worth a few views in itself. Right, So I've set this to 17 grains, the chronograph, because that's what the BB is. I've just measured it. Let's see what we can get. Okay, so that says 4.61 feet per second, sorry, 4.61 foot-pounds, get my words right, 349.7 feet per second with a fresh CO2 pallet. Do you know, I think I'm going to give it another go. I'm going to load another one. I'll be back with you in 2 seconds. Right, to be honest, I've got absolutely no idea where that rubber ball went. I kind of closed my eyes because I was a scaredy cat. But anyway, so let's try this again. It's over there somewhere. Wow. Tell you what, I've got a it's an old oven tray, and it's denting the hell out of the oven tray. Right, that was 5 foot-pounds, 365.6 feet per second. So I mean, this is doing a good 6 foot-pounds. Yeah, I certainly wouldn't want to get shot with it. Right, let's try the HDP. Right, so the HDP, the home defense pistol, this is, I believe, 11 joules. I should have checked out and find out what that was in foot-pounds. I guess we're about to find out. It loads in exactly the same way in terms of the CO2 pallet as the HDR. So into the bottom, do that up, finger tight initially, give it a little bit of a crank with the Allen key to about there. Right, and as you can see at the moment, the little striker or index or indicator is not there. If I slam the bottom, in theory, if I've done it up tight enough, there we go, it comes out. It took a couple of goes, maybe I hadn't done it up tight enough. Right, the HDP, unlike the almost pointed that, unlike the HDR, has actually got fibre optic sights. You know, paintballs aren't that accurate. I'm not sure how much difference it makes. So to load a paintball, we're going to put 2 in here because I want to get, let's shoot one off. Right, so I just wanted to clear the chamber. We've shot one off to clear the chamber, basically get one shot out of the CO2 pallet before loading up. So this has a slider on the side right there, which you slide down, you can lock in place, which is something I wish all manufacturers would think about doing. Ooh, that was close. All manufacturers would think about doing. Another paintball, purely for the fact that in terms of BB guns, because I've got to be honest, I'm tired of shredding my nails trying to put BBs into magazines. But anyway, right, probably don't need these for this one, but let's do this. So these are 15 grains, these paintballs. Let's see what they, let's get rid of that, see what they do. Okay. Shit a brick. Whew. Well, 9.29 foot-pounds, 528.4 feet per second. That's above the 300 feet per second limit I used to have with .68 caliber paintballs. I'm not sure what they were, but I certainly wouldn't want to get hit with one of these. A paintball out of this, still probably going to hurt. It's going to smart. A paintball out of this, well, why don't we shoot a box of it and let's see Let's see how much damage a paintball out of that does to a box. Okay, let me set that up. Back in a couple of seconds. Right. Because I am a bit of an idiot, I forgot to press play on the downrange camera. So you'll probably see there is actually already a hole on the footage if you're that way inclined in terms of your ability to notice stuff. Me personally, I'm pretty unobservant, but yeah, there's already a hole in the box. But I just want to show exactly what this can do to a basic box. It's got a hell of a kick, I've got to be honest. So, right, I'm not completely sure where that went. I'm going to go down range, grab the box. I'll be back in a couple of seconds. So, there we go. That one entered there, came out here. So, you know, Amstel beer case box. You know, it's certainly not thin. Tell you what, I'm going to try this. If it goes through this, I will be surprised. Let's try this. This is a shoebox, Carrymore shoebox. It's a fairly hefty bit of cardboard. Let's see if the paintball can get through that. Back with you in 2 secs. Right, so I think the key with this one is actually going to be hitting the target. You know, it's got to be what, 5 yards? It's not the most accurate. I mean, it would certainly, you know, if you were using it as a, I wouldn't suggest using this to shoot anybody with. It's going to hurt them quite badly. But as a little marker in the garden for a bit of fun, certainly going to be able to hit tins with it, you know, boxes like I'm doing. Right, let's see what we've got. Aiming at the middle of the box, let's see where this ends up. Yeah, off to the right. Let me go and grab that. I'm going to have to find something bigger to shoot. Once again. Okay, so accuracy, not great, but power all the way through. I mean, it looked as though it was starting, but it didn't properly break. There's no paint in there, so to speak. Slight blue, I mean very thin blue spray, but no proper paint. Right, tin can next. Right, so the issue I'm having now is actually getting the cans to stand up in this breeze. No, we're shooting this one. Let's get the right pistol sorted out now. In we go. I'm going to put 2 in there just to make sure, just in case I miss. Because, as I say, I'm struggling with the accuracy on this. So, here we go. Let's see what this does to cans. Okay, right, let's unload that. Oh, easier said than done. Okay, so it's apparently quite hard to unload it. I'm going to shoot the box below it, see what happens. Nothing. Right, it didn't penetrate the big plastic box below it. Little blue splodge on the box. So no point in showing you that, but let's see if it did any damage to the cans. Back in a minute. Well, definitely did some damage to the can. Don't know if you can see that. It's definitely a break from the impact. I think I'm going to give it another shot at the cans and see if I can get a slightly better hit. I think the the paintball slipped between the two. I want to try and get a direct hit on one of these guys. So let's have one more shot and see if I can get it to hit the cans directly. Hi, this is Neil from the present. I'm currently editing the video that you're watching, and the next bit that I was hoping to put in, which was more shooting with the home defense pistol and the paintballs against some cans. That file unfortunately is corrupt and I don't seem to be able to recover it, which is a shame because it was pretty good. Those paintballs did mash up the can pretty badly. So I'm going to call it quits at this point, and I'm going to turn this into a two-parter, because the other thing I've realised is that the video goes on for 40 minutes and nobody should have to sit through me prattling on for 40 minutes. So I'm going to call a stop to it now and say thank you very much for watching so far. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope it's interesting enough for you to watch part 2. So keep an eye out for part 2, and in the meantime stay safe, and I look forward to catching up with you soon. Cheers, all the best.